Keeper who's put under pressure, picked up by Endless Peary, and showing some lovely footwork, ball in the box and header away. Still a bit of danger, not adverted, and a good touch. The penalty, it seems. Is that what is being called? Is it a penalty? It looks pretty much like a penalty. Foul on Endless Peary. It is a penalty for Zesco Ndola Girls. Let's have a look at that. The action was a little too quick, but it is the experienced Endless Peary, 23 years of age. Endless Peary, who's really debuted for the under-17 national team of Zambia, under-20. She's been on the conveyor belt and very experienced and very trusted in the side. A midfielder, marauding midfielder. I call her Piti Piti. That is Endless Peary. Endless Peary, brilliant precision, took her time, and that is the opening goal of the tournament in as early as the 5th minute of the 45. Endless Peary picking a spot.
First attack for Zes.
Alice Moyo, picked up by Herentals in the middle of the park. Quick to respond is Esther Muchinga. Agnes Tumbare. Mistake made. Here's an opportunity for the second goal. Brilliant work. Second goal put to bed. And it is Cruz Cain to a defense that has been sliced up, opened up, and prepared for this delicious meal.
Yeah. A defense that has been holding a high line, but Zesco able to break that line and make sure that they apply the high press, and they managed to win that ball and force the defense to make a mistake. A brilliant composed goal that came from Charity Mbwanga, the goal scorer for the second goal for Zesco.
2 goals in 10 minutes. That is, I'm sure, what Coach Florence Nkachia is hoping for, to allow her players just to confirm the goal scorer, Charity Mubanga, getting onto the score sheet, supporting the goal that was scored by Endless Peary. A bit of a water break. We are talking about 25, 26 degrees out here. Happy to receive that and put it in the handbank amongst the lipstick and the eyelashes, as we have a look at the defensive work and a brilliant effort. Goalkeeper unhappy with the defense, made a save, but spoke that ball inside the net. Cynthia Shanga having conceded the 3rd goal in this match. It looks like everything that has gone that way has gone into the back of the net.
It's going to the back of net for Zesco. You look at that run, a beautiful run from Peary, but the defense needs to be doing much better. You look at where Peary was taking it, they could have at least committed a foul there.
Well, it's a brace for Charity, getting into the right positions, making sure that Agnes Peary is supported. Delightful ball. Defense mistake made by Bridget Mutaura. Instead of clearing a line, lays it for an oncoming Charity Mwanga, and she doesn't need a second invitation. She'll make sure the net bulges. Player down. Herentals looking for mercy, and eventually that snapshot will go all the way to Hazel. And just to share that play can continue as Natasha Benza, who's on the ground grimacing in pain, that made herself a nuisance in that box.
A good ball. When you look at Natasha Nali, she was able to read that ball and came out very decisive with coming out and make sure that she makes the angle small.
40 minutes on the clock. 3-0 the scoreline. Free kick Herentals. Delivered into the box and pretty much in the air, and the danger averted eventually Ball up in the air. And a good turn from Enes Tambare, but that's not to trouble anyone in that defense. That's not to trouble anyone in that defense. It's Enes Tambare who's pushed up a little. It's not often she does that, but for situations that have presented themselves as corner kicks, she's been given that license to move forward. Ball in the air, plucked by Herentals, only as far as Machinga. Great 1-2 for the moment. Herentals are dispossessed. He has an opportunity inside the box and a strong challenge. Good defensive work there by Zesco. They've got some great communication. They've got some great players there who are very decisive and not to do anything fancy defensively. The minute they're under pressure, they get that ball away, look to see if there's any player available on the receiving end. Quality ball just driven back, and that just allows Zesco the opportunity to breathe a little bit easier.
It's a good partnership when you look at Zulu and Mulenga. They've been doing very well, and that communication to make sure that they are decisive with the decisions that they make. If they're clearing the ball, they make sure that they clear it on time.
Well, the player, he has an opportunity for, come on, the brilliant Natasha Benza. She's been threatening throughout the match. Finally gets to break the hearts and break the deadlock here of Herentals. Brilliant piece of play. Natasha Benza, the roving midfielder, brings glory to her teammates and gets the one goal she's been looking for. Herentals 1, Zesco 3. That will give you the confidence that you can break the lines. You can get the ball in the back of the net. Yes, let's have a look at that. The bounce of the ball favorable. That as the ball just ricocheted off the ground. Let's have a look at Ngovu for the moment. Ngovu saved by the keeper. End-to-end stuff, Kenelwe. End-to-end stuff from either side. Good save there from Cynthia Shonga to deny a fourth to Zesco, but the travel not diverted.
From Zesco, ladies, that is something that they're showing that they have talked about, and they're actually improving on it. We'll see how as the game progresses, if they'll be able to hold on for the last 45 minutes.
Well, here's an opportunity yet again. Piri chasing down, and keeper quick to avert the danger. In the middle of the park, there's a player that is down, and the game continues. It looks pretty much like Mulobwa. We'll get to confirm who that is. For the moment, Zesco have got their defensive caps on, but here is Herentals. Bounce of the ball is being navigated. Damba Murona's asking for it, but it's Kondo. She decides to go and hopefully ask questions of Hazel Nali. And calm is Pauline in that defense. Got lovely height at 1.65 meters is Pauline. Here's Milanda Rungu. Ball out to Mafuruse inside the box. It's the goal scorer who leaped highest, Benza Natasha. Eventually a player going down in front of the referee. That is Nonjabulo, who's been asked a lot of questions by the technical bench. Mafuruse is a hard body. I call her the hard body is Modi Mafuruse. She's up and about, gets into the tackle. Herentals laying it back, picking up Kondo. Kondo on the ball, takes a strike. Keeper had it under control. However, watched it till the end. She closed it, she narrowed the angle, forcing the striker to shoot. However, that away from goal. Hazel Nali. She gives the responsibility to Mulenga. Strong in the air, picked up by Kondo. Very much influential in the middle of the park. Damba Murono. It is Mutaura. Mutaura on the ball. Mafuruse leaves it picked up by Bwalia. Mabel Bwalia. Here's Piri. Ball in the air. Take it in a stride. Piri. Endless Piri. Wrongs the goalkeeper. Needs to support. And eventually from a tight angle, the brilliance of Endless Piri. Clear for everyone to see. 4-0 is the scoreline. Business-like, as usual. A player who is so humble and will try not to celebrate a goal, but understands the importance of teamwork.
Such a beautiful goal from Endless Piri. She's been very marvelous throughout the entire game so far. Beautiful run, beautiful control, first take here. When you look at this ball, so composed getting into that area, and the strength from Endless Piri is something that you need to commend. But for the goalkeeper there, maybe close that near post, because you can see where Endless Piri is trying to open up her body. Make sure that you get near to you close your near post and force her to make a pass where you know you have your defenders to deal with those balls.
5 goals is what we have seen thus far. 4 for Zesco Ndola goals and 1 for Herentals. The brilliance of Endless Pili laid bare for everyone to see. The offside flag. Nandi Pamenza and Patso Mamete in support of Nonjabulo Ndlela. They are in charge of this match and have done exceptionally well thus far. Shonga will know that was criminal of her to allow that goal to be scored in an angle in which she needed to look after. Yeah. Ball in the air. Herentals. And a little bit of a touch and a push and a shovel. That ball goes out for a throw-in. It will be Mordi Mafuruse to take the throw-in. Herentals in a very advanced position. Into the box. Kondo on the ball, laying it back. Looking for Damba Murono. Slip off the surface. Damba Murono keeps the ball alive for Herentals. Pauline Zulu sends it up front. Mutaura. Damba Murono. Here's Maluba, player on a yellow card, but it is Bridget Mutaura who will get there quickest. And the offside flag coming to the rescue of Herentals. Or the rescue of Zesco, rather. Five goals. Avalanche of goals in this opening fixture. It is the 6th edition. Ball in the air. Giving chase is Rungu. And eventually, good pressing, that is.
Good pressing from Herentals.
Trying to read the game, the slipping and sliding of the players on the park. And those are the moments that defenders have got to be careful of, goalkeepers have got to be careful of. Also, the bounce of the ball can at times create some sort of havoc.
Yeah, it means for defenders now, they need to be very careful, and also the area that they find themselves in. And for attackers, it's the opportunity to always keep chasing. In case there's a mistake that happens, there's a slip that happens to the defender, then they're in the right position to try and utilize.
Well, here's Zesco with the ball delivered from the left-hand side. But that is quickly averted. Damba Murono doing the cleaning up. She's got a mop in the middle of the park. Damba Murono. Shalene Damba Murono. She's the oldest player that is on display for Herentals. Here's an opportunity for Maluba. Keeper is a little slow in meeting that ball. You would expect that she's got to go and meet that ball and not wait for the ball to come to her. So, for the moment, Rungu winning it back for Herentals. Yes, Kondo on the ball. Playing out for Mafuruse. Delivery into the box for Mafuruse. Player goes down. and keeper collects rather easily. Referee doesn't concern herself. Yes, Piri, one more time. Piri looking to get into good position. Ball being allowed to run to Maluba. Maluba! Brilliant effort. Penelope Maluba registers her name on the score sheet. That is 5 Zesco Ndola goals, 1 Herentals on the volley. Brilliant, brilliant moment. Getting into a good position. Could do not much, was the goalkeeper. And the net bulges. We say snap, crackle and pop.
She's unhappy, the goalkeeper Shonga there. She was left exposed by the defense. It was 3 against 1 when you look at the Zesco and that last defender for Herentals. They are committing a lot of numbers up front when you look at here.
Here's the ball, nicely left by Frida Kabwe to the left-hand side, and Maluba says thank you very much with the left-footed shot. Oh, didn't she strike that sweetly to beat goalkeeper Shonga? I don't think one could have done much. You are expecting, though, your defense, the left back and the right back, to close down those kind of situations. That they do possess in their arsenal as Zesco Ndola Girls, a team that has dominated football for the last 2 or so seasons, slowly pushing Green Buffaloes out of contention. A team that has been responsible for the drive of women's football in Zambia, that is Green Buffaloes. I mean, those were the producers of players like Barbara Banda, Rachel Kudananji. You know, you really got to give them the hand for passing the banner on to teams like Zesco Ndola Girls. And again, it shows that CAF's plan of making sure that each and every PSL team has got a women's team under the wing. You're getting to see the quality. You're getting to see the coaching coming to the fold. You're getting to see the competitiveness and the great coaching that we are privy to watch today.
And we have seen some quality.
Mistake made in the box, and this could be another one of those. Going to sleep. Lack of communication between Hazel and her defense. And it is one that has been pulled back. Good pressure that was applied by Herentals, and high fives all round, and a brilliant effort. Looks like Guara getting onto the score sheet. Guara and Benza, the never say die attitude clearly on display, fighting right up to the end, and that just gives us a confirmation of the scoreline. Zesco Ndola Girls 5-2. That's the mistake, the bounce of the ball, and pressure on Zulu. Keeper was too slow in coming out, and maybe for Pauline Zulu, she could have continued to protect that ball and maybe selling a goalkeeper a little bit. Here's another push, and it's Mapua. This time she's been adjudged to being overzealous.
The coach, Florence Carter, should be very disappointed with that goal, how it came about. Lack of communication between the goalkeeper and defender. They should be communicating much better. The defender, they should be protecting the ball much better in that area. Looking at 2 players for Herentals who were trying to force a mistake. They forced a mistake, and they needed to be clinical with that opportunities to pull one back from the scoreboard.
For the one moment when the defense went to sleep, Herentals capitalized, and that gives them a scoreline of 5-2. With about 8 minutes to go to the 90, the offside flag goes up. That will allow Herentals with Mutaura Bridget, number 20. She's been fantastic in that defense, and so has Agnes Tumbare, who the 2 centre-backs, Modi Mafuruse, the hard body of the side, the referee wanting the ball taken at the right spot. needs a quality ball. It needs to get the distance. They've pushed the numbers forward, is Herentals. Ball in the air, nicely taken down the chest, showing good technicality in terms of the skill there. Here's Mila Mulambo. Lovely rhyme to her name, Mila Mulambo. She's lanky as well, looking pretty much like a panther that glides on the surface. That's Mila Mulambo. She's got a goal, is Mila Mulambo, in the 66th minute. So 7 minutes to go to the 90, plus referee's optional time. So we do get to embrace, celebrate, and share. Player of the match. And I wonder, what's your guess? Is it as good as mine? There is no doubt about the quality of a number of players, as we spoke about it earlier. I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm going to put you on the spot, KK. Ball goes out. Mafuruse. She's had a hard day at the office. But as expected, this is a result they'll want to put behind them very quickly. But it is Zesco Ndola girls who will go to the summit of Group A for the moment. But depending on what happens in the match against between the defending champions, Gaborone United, and will be interesting to see how does KK behave next to me when she gets to be in front of her home side. I'm going to fasten a seatbelt and keep her pretty tight. And let's hope she doesn't eject from her seat. That is Gaborone United that are up against Lesotho Defence Force. I mean, there's my favorite player there, Doba Doba.
I can't promise you anything right now.
Away by Zesco, looking for Mila Mulambo. She gives chase, but she has Tumbare to contend with. Goalkeeper Habija Mulongo is been forced to get that ball out, but it is as far as Dorothy Daka, and the offside flag also coming to the rescue. Polite Mabiga. She was the player of the season in the awards for Herentals. That's Polite Mabiga. Kondo. Goalkeeper brought into the equation. Good challenge by Polite Mabika. And it is Tumbare who needs a bit of a breather and gets that ball out. Tumbare, Agnes. She's just 33 years of age, is Agnes Tumbare. I mean, when you look at some of these players, you got to really say the average age for Zesco is one that is favorable at 23. Bounce of the ball, Maleba, keeper does well, 2 hands to it. Here's Mulubwa, and Herentals with the Benza, come away with it. Picked up Rungu, ball is in the air, Rungu will support, and it's good to see the defending from Zesco, even though they are in such a commanding lead, still applying the discipline and cohesion. Agnes Tumbare.
No pushing, no pushing.
Kondo protects the ball very well. Lovely skill in the kitchen. What do they say? Chibobo, Tsamaya, let's go. And it's getting a bit busy. Polite Mabika got in a bit strong, but those are some of the things that you get quite happy about, the Chibobos, the Tsamayas, and all of that. Ball on the edge of the box, that's Polite. Benza, there's nobody there, and offside She had strayed. And one thing that Zesco have shown is how to play the offside. They've been clinical, they've been decisive, and they frustrated Herentals on a couple of occasions.
They've done well to keep that line and be disciplined with that line. But for Herentals, you can see that they're trying to finish the half very strongly.
But that will be encouraging for the games that lie ahead, bearing in mind that each team will play 3 games, and eventually you will get the top 2 going through. Here's Mila Mulambo. Overcooked, keeper's quick off a line, puts that in the handbag amongst the things that are precious. Oh, lovely work there. Too nice from Guaraguara. Women's football, the delight, the passion, over the top from Guaraguara. Trying to complement that is Beto Kondo. Ignis Tumbare. Well, we have about a minute to go to the 90 kk. And it looks like it's done and dusted. It's definitely 3 points in favor of Zesco Ndola girls. And if they have to come back in the next match, that is Herentals, what should they do differently?
For Herentals, you're looking at, starting from the defense, when you look at how they played in that first half of the game, there were a lot of spaces that they were leaving in that defense. And I think with the formation that they came here with, there was a bit of confusion on the players on who's supposed to be where in terms of those roles. But you could see in the second half of the game, they were able to improve when they hold that high line. They were able to communicate well, and also with the goalkeeper to be able to know exactly where they needed to be, especially when they don't have the ball. And moving forward, there's still a lot of work that they need to do from Herentals when moving forward, especially in that midfield. They need someone you can see with Guaraguara ever since